Our next performer is a member of the Yale Record, which is the Cucumber's sister organization. He is one of our managing editors, and his name is Ian Gonzalez. Ian. I blame the Bass Media Lab.
So, I like to think that I've learned a lot in my classes here at Yale. I think we'd all like to think that. But there are some things that you can't really learn in a classroom, right? I mean, for example, I've been to a lot of music festivals, and I think I've learned a lot there that you really couldn't teach in a class. I'll just give a few examples. So, number one, music festivals are great if you like 40-something bald, sweating men grinding up against you. But there are plenty of establishments that give pretty much the same service for less money, if that's what you're interested in. Number two, if you wear an astronaut helmet or a horse head mask to a festival, then everyone kind of just assumes that you're going to sell them ecstasy. There's no question of whether you have ecstasy or whether you're on ecstasy, maybe you know someone. It's like they go straight to price negotiation. I guess that would be really awkward for people who aren't like me. I mean, I'm an ecstasy dealer, so it's like normal, you know, par for the course, whatever. But, okay. So number three, perhaps the most important one, I've learned that there exists a certain class of person in this world that is willing to have loud sex in a porta-potty. These people exist. They're a non-zero fraction of the human population. You've walked by one or two of them probably. It's entirely possible you've shaken one of their hands, or they've handled your food. Maybe you've touched the same utensils that they've touched in a restaurant. It's totally possible because they exist. I mean, now, I just want to clarify, I don't have a problem with fetishes in general or abnormal sexual behavior, whatever you want that to be. I think we live in a very open age sexually. That's great, you know. If you know it gets you off, more power to you. Good for you. However, if I'm in my porta potty and the wall is shaking and buckling, causing me to fear for my own safety, your sexual activity has crossed this distinct line between good for you and I'm pretty sure you're legally assaulting me. And I mean, I just think in general, porta potty sex is okay. It's okay if that's what you like. Just do it in your own, hopefully sanitized porta potty. That's all I ask. It's really, I don't think it's that much to ask. So, unrelated note, my grandparents are actually in the audience tonight. Huge shout out to them for not having left yet. If that's not love, then I don't know what love is. Anyway, where was I? So, right, things that I've learned, right? So I think a lot of the lessons that I've learned have been just, in the great outdoors, in the wilderness. I like to think of myself as at least a moderately outdoorsy person. I went camping a lot in middle school. I was in the Boy Scouts until I realized that God doesn't exist. But there have been a few incidents, I think, in my life that I can pinpoint that kind of made me reconsider the whole going outside thing. So I think the first one that comes to mind is this one time where I was nearly mauled by an adult bison in Yellowstone National Park. This actually happened. So Yellowstone is the kind of place where they're really used to people doing stupid shit. Tourists doing tons of stupid shit. And they have signs up everywhere. Do not go off the trails. Don't feed the wildlife. Don't fuck with the bears. Don't touch the boiling water coming out of the ground with out of your hands. The moose will fucking murder you. It's really cute, but it will murder you. Despite all these warnings, this guy who's walking along a trail that I also happen to be walking along decides that the only thing cooler than a picture of a bison is a picture of a bison's ass from 4 feet away. So he approaches the 2-ton animal from behind, obviously spooking it. And I can honestly say I've never been so afraid as I was in that moment when this thing turned around and bluff charged this crowd of people. It was just terrifying. And they always say that in moments like those, that's when you show your true colors. That's when your truest characteristics come out. You realize your priorities. and like heroes step up to the plate. I really hope that's not true. The first thing that I did as I was running away like a little bitch, my family in the dust, obviously, ranked the people running in front of me by how easy they would be to trip. They would present to the bison behind me. I wish I could say that that's the closest I've come to shitting myself in the wilderness, because I've also actually literally shit myself in the wilderness. That's happened. So, I mean, I'll just touch on that story briefly. I think that like one of the coolest things about modern society is that you're never really more than 5 minutes away from a place where you can shit in private. It's really great. It's awesome. Like people don't talk about it enough. I mean, talk about like electricity, running water, medicine that doesn't literally kill people, right? That's awesome. But also we have bathrooms, and that's super cool. And I learned this the hard way that day. And I think that's all I'm going to say about it, because my grandparents are looking wistfully towards the exit. So I'll probably leave it at that. And apparently that's my time. I actually have more material, but thank you all so much.